Right guys, welcome to a Friday Waffle. Now excuse me while I set my alarm so I know when to stop talking. 41 minutes, come out of that, go into, what am I going into? Going into clock, and let's see, 40, let's go for 39. There we go, yeah. Anyway, welcome to Friday night. It's actually quite late. I was talking to Sean Southern of Kickstart, Trailblazer, and most notably the Lotus series on the Commodore Amiga. I was having a chat with Sean earlier on tonight. Went really well, really well. So I'm actually in the process of rendering that, and I'll probably put it out probably Monday, I think. So yeah, amazing guy, really nice, quite a quiet spoken guy, but you know, had an awesome chat with him, and it's great to be able to talk to people who are a big part of your growing up. I mean, I loved all of Sean's games, you know, Kickstart 2, Trailblazer 2, was it Cosmic Causeway, I think it was called. Obviously the Lotus games, Supercars 1 and 2 and the Amiga. So I'm not going to tell you anything any more about it. If you want to watch it, go and watch it on Monday. It's me talking to Sean Southern. So that was excellent. Yeah, what I'm not sitting round over there on a hard stool again, guys. So I'm afraid this is the best you're going to get. You're just going to have to look at my ugly face for 40 odd minutes, or else you could open up another tab on your browser and just listen to me, and you don't have to look at me. So anyway, yeah, I hope you've all had an alright week. Just the usual, my week's been pretty busy. Work is really busy just now. Weather-wise, it's shite. We've had a lot of rain. You can definitely tell that winter is literally just round the corner. I mean, the clocks go fall back. Yeah, the clocks go back in about a week's time, and that is it. It's pitch black in the morning and pitch black at night, you know. So I don't like this time of year. I don't mind winter, but I prefer the lighter nights where you can get out and you can do stuff. You can take the dogs out, you can go for a run, whatever. But talking of running, my running is virtually non-existent just now. I did go out on Sunday for a run and struggled big time. So I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm just going to keep chipping away at it. Don't know. Anyway, you're not interested in my running. Right, SNES Mini hacked. I don't know. You might just be able to see it at the side of the screen there. The SNES Mini has now been hacked. I have, what I did was I've put 100, I just googled the top 100 SNES games. So I've got all of them on it. So I've got 100 games. I think I've got about 120 games in it. The only downside to that, it's the old PlayStation syndrome or the Nintendo DS syndrome, i.e. you have all these hundreds of games and you never play any of them. So that's the only downside to putting lots and lots of games on a system. But I've got to say, there's only been maybe a couple of games that I've tested so far that haven't worked. I am going to put a little video out letting you see it. I know people are getting bored rigid with the SNES Mini because that's all you get on YouTube at the moment. Well, there's other things, but you know what I mean. It's in your face. But if you get a chance to buy a SNES Mini, I would definitely recommend you pick one up. So yeah, SNES Mini has been hacked. Like I said, I will put a video out later on next week showing you. Play Manchester is on this weekend. Now, unfortunately, I won't be there. I was at the one in Blackpool. And then I also went to Insomnia down in Birmingham. So it's a lot of money. It's a lot of money to go to these shows. And as much as I'd love to be there, I couldn't justify going to another one. I don't know, I might not go to Blackpool next year and maybe try and do one of the revival events, which, looking at what's on, I think is something I would probably enjoy more. The only problem is it's really far down. I think it's kind of down near Oxford, which is a shit of a long way for myself. I mean, Blackpool's far enough, Birmingham's even further, and Oxford and whatnot is even further still. There's a Reading, I can't remember exactly, but it's a long, long way. So I don't know. I'll need to decide what I want to do. I can't afford to go to them all, you know, because you've got petrol, you've got your hotel, and you know, all the money that comes with the food and that kind of stuff. So we'll see, but yeah, play Manchester looks really good. Jeff Minter's going to be there with Tempest, whatever it is. I don't even know what it's called. I'd love to have seen that. Is that on the new Atari console? I'm not too sure actually. I think it might be. And yeah, I think there's quite a few kind of fellow YouTubers going. It'd be nice to see them. But yeah, I won't be there. But if you are going to Manchester this weekend, I hope you have a really, really nice time. So yeah, Horace and the Spiders. My mate Steve Snake, author of Kega Fusion plus lots of games, you know, NBA Jam on the SNES, Swiv. I think he did Silkworm as well in the Amiga. He did Bomberman and Xbox 360. Rodland on the Commodore 64. He's an amazing programmer. Steve contacted me last week and he said, we were talking about something else, and he said, oh, by the way, I've got a game that I've almost finished and I'm going to send it to you. So he sent it to me, and I don't know if you've watched my video or not. It's basically it's a version of Berserk, and on the Spectrum, and it's got Horus, and it's got little Berserk robots. And I'm not just saying this because Steve's my mate, but blimey, what a version! I mean, it is, without shadow of a doubt, it is the best home version of Berserk that I've ever played. It's so faithful, it's super smooth, it looks like the arcade, it really, really does. Apart from Horus, you could be playing the arcade one, even right down to the colour clash with the walls, that is authentic as well. He's even got the speech, using the colour speech thing. How he manages it, I don't know. Absolutely awesome. He was telling me tonight that he's soon going to have the finished version, the bug-free version. I've been playing it quite a bit and feeding back to Steve sort of bugs and that kind of stuff. Not that there's been very much. I think there's been two things that I've kind of picked up on. One's a bug and one, it's not a bug. I'm just kind of disagreeing slightly as to the playability, but if you like Berserk, you're going to love that. It's incredible. I put it out, a video out last week, and I think it's up to about 350 views, which for me is really, really good. I notice, is it Indie Retro News or something, they've picked up on it as well. They're saying, oh, this new game's come out, and according to the video uploader, instead of calling me Mainmeister, they've called me the video uploader. But yeah, I feel very privileged that I'm the only person to have played the game. And I think Steve will probably allow me to put the game out there. You know, I think Steve's going to be happy enough with that, but hopefully get the finished version very soon and I'll get it out there. But wonderful. I even had Paul Jenkinson, who has the Spectrum show, he commented on my video as well. So yeah, it's pretty good. It's certainly helping to bring some traffic to my YouTube channel, because obviously people are watching it. Well, people have seen it and then clicking on the link, so that is wonderful. But yeah, great game. So anyway, I don't have any, because I've been talking to Sean tonight, I don't have any topics of my own to talk about, but I think there's quite a few questions here. I'm going to be saying, where's my tea about? I did bring a cup of tea and I put it somewhere. There, it's down there. Archie, don't you dare knock that over. So I'm actually just downloading, what have I got? Skyforce Anniversary on the PS4. It's one of these games that on the, what do you call it, PlayStation Plus. That's actually the first time I've switched my PS4 on for probably about a month actually. Some good games. There's one called Amnesia Collection, which looks like a kind of horror-y type third person or first person game. Might play that later on. So anyway, kicking questions off. Right, I was going to call him Retronic Collector. He's not called the Retronic Collector. He's now renamed. He's rebranded himself as the, let me get this right, Silveretro. Silveretro. It sounds Spanish. Silveretro. 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 Is that how you say it, Tony? Silveretro Collector. I don't know why, Tony. Why did you change? Why did you get rid of your old YouTube channel? Tony's had a really good YouTube channel, and he's done away with it, and he's rebranded himself, and he's coming back. I'll actually put a wee link to his channel below. Go and check it out. Tony's an absolute ace guy. I've never met a guy that tries to help out other channels quite as much as Tony. He gives people shout outs all the time. He's always encouraging people. He always helps me with my channel. He's a real community player. So go and do Tony a favour. Go and check his channel out down below, and please click on it if you want to watch Tony's videos. You know, it does definitely help having support. So go and check him out. Anyway, what is Tony saying here? Number 1, your top 5 Sega Mega Drive games. Now I've got a EverDrive, Tony, so I've got virtually all of the Mega Drive games. My top 5 Mega Drive games, I would be struggling to put them into any order, but what games do I play? If I'm playing the Mega Drive, what games do I play? I like, sports-wise, EA Hockey. It's the original hockey game on the Mega Drive. It was one of the early games. It's a really meaty game. It plays well. It's got fantastic sound. 2-player is brilliant fun. It's quite easy to play as well. So EA Hockey. I mean, there's various versions came out, but it's the original one that I like. I also really like, although it's bloody difficult, what's it called? Battle. Oh. It was out for the Amiga as well. The Battle Crew. Oh man, Battle something or other. I think it's the sequel to Hybris. What's it called? Battle something or other. It's a shoot 'em up. It's really difficult, but it's an amazing game. Not Battlezone. Oh, it doesn't matter, you know what? It'll come to me. Battle something or another. Anyway, I'll try and Battle Squadron. That's what it's called. I knew if I say it out loud enough, I'll get it. Battle Squadron. That's an ace, absolute ace. Shoot 'em up. So there's that. There's hockey. Not a fan of Sonic. Another game that I played a lot, and I've not played it for a long time, but I loved it, was EA Rugby. Rugby by EA. You see it backwards. Really good game. I loved it. I played it a lot back in the day. Other games. I've been trying to play some new games. My mate Ben, TRX Space Station, he put out a sort of top 5 Mega Drive running gun games, and one of them was, it wasn't called Super Turrican. It's basically Turrican. Looks really good on the Mega Drive. Trying, what other games do I play in the Mega Drive? I mean, I don't really play Sonic games. Oh, bloody hell, I'm really struggling. See, when I'm put in the spot to name games, I always struggle big time. I mean, games like, there's lots of games that I've played and they're nice, but you know, my favourite games, what do you call them? Streets of Rage. Really pretty, beautiful looking games. I was going to say Gunhead, but that's on the PC Engine. I'm trying to think. You know, see when you're putting the spot. If I had a list of games, I would be able to pick some. So yeah, I'm just going to have to go for the 3 that I mentioned, which were EA Rugby, Battle Squadron, and what was the other one I mentioned? You know what, I can't even remember. That was terrible. Anyway, listen Tony, I don't want to dwell too much on that question. Thanks for that one, mate. Number 2, what's your thoughts on the new mini classic SNES console, and did you buy one? Certainly did, Tony. Love it. Love it. You know what? There's lots of people criticising it, and you know what? Bollocks to them. Yeah, it might be emulating it, but you know what? It is still a Nintendo piece of hardware. You know, back in the day when the SNES came out, it was all proper computer chips, because that's all you had. You didn't have things like emulators, but now the technology exists that we can emulate, so why not? So who gives a shit if it's an emulator system? Yeah, you can do it on a Raspberry Pi, but as far as a Nintendo console goes, it's proper Nintendo hardware. It's really good. It comes pre-installed with 21 games. I don't know if you can see that. It looks super sharp on through HDMI. Plus, with very little effort, you can put other games in it. So yeah, I've got one, Tony, and I love it to bits. It's an excellent little machine. It might actually become my way to play the SNES. I've got a proper SNES down there. It's got a Mega Drive. It's got an Everdrive cartridge, but playing it in that is super easy. Plus, I've got a really nice cordless controller as well. So yeah, I love it to bits. My top 5 PSP games. I've got to be honest, Tony, and say I never really played. Although I had a PSP, I didn't play many games in it at all. No. I think the games that I did play in it would be Ridge Racer. The Ridge Racer, I can't remember what it's called. Was it this Ridge Racer? Excuse me. Super Ghouls and Ghosts, or whatever it's called, is excellent. It looks really nice, really pretty game, plays really well as well. And I also used to play the Capcom collections. I can't remember what they're called again. There's 2 different Capcom collections. It's got all your Commando, your Mercs, your 1942, all these games on it. Final Fight as well. So I used to play them a lot, but Wipeout as well is really nice, but I can't say I was a big fan of the PSP. I never really played it. It's the same with the Vita. I don't really play many games on it. I've got emulators on it. I mean, I did use my PSP a lot for emulation, and that's kind of the same way as the... if it's going to get dark, it's because my PS4 is going into rest mode, so it's going to get dark in a second. There we go. Yeah, I tend just to play emulators on these things. That's what I tend to do. I buy a new machine and I stick old games on it. Number 4, what's your all-time favourite Vectrex game? That's a good question. Vectrex. The most impressive game, I would say, is Vector Pilot. It's a conversion of Space Pilot, and it just plays amazingly. I think my favourite game is going to be the built-in one, Mindstorm. It's a really good game. It's super playable. It's pretty much asteroids. I always wish Jim Bagley or somebody would write an asteroids for the Vectrex. I know there's a few versions out there, but none of them are particularly good in my opinion. But I think Mindstorm is going to be, that's the built-in game, Tony. That's going to be my favourite game. Number 5, will you be going to see the new Blade Runner film, i.e. Blade Runner 2049? No. The reason being is I tried to watch Blade Runner, I think maybe once or twice back in the day, and I got about 20 minutes in and I just got bored stiff. I've got a really short span of attention when it comes to films. So yeah, I just found it boring. A couple of my mates asked me if I wanted to go and see it, and I said I declined, and they went to the pictures and they said, oh, it's brilliant. And I said, would I enjoy it? And they went, no. So I've got no interest in it, Tony. It's just a game. It's a film. I've got no interest in it. It's too complicated for me. I'm quite sure it's a wonderful film, but it's not my cup of tea. But anyway, Tony, nice to see you back again, buddy. Go and check Tony's channel out down below, and thanks for the questions, Tony. Next up, down the rabbit hole, Mr. Kev. Hi Alan, if you have an 8-bit and also a 16-bit version of the same game, do you ever play just the 8-bit version? Yeah, I do, absolutely. I mean, there's some games where the 8-bit version is better. Case in point, in my opinion, is Buggy Boy. Buggy Boy on the Amiga and Atari ST looks really nice. It's almost arcade perfect. Looks wise, excuse me, pardon me, but the Commodore 64 one is, in my opinion, a much better game. It might not have the graphic finesse, but it's super playable. it's a better game. So yeah, I do. I absolutely do. I mean, what other games? Oh, Whizball is a classic example. Whizball on the Commodore 64 is an awesome game, but put it on the 16-bit, it just pales into insignificance. Don't get me wrong, a lot of the later games, I would say, if you've got a much, much better version with better looking graphics, you're always going to play the better looking one. But some of the early games, they were definitely better than the 8-bit. Not many, I've got to say, but yeah, I do, absolutely. I don't think I'm going to play this game and I'm going to play it on the Amiga because it's better. There are certain games in the Commodore 64 that I'll always play. I mean, Whizball, if I'm going to play that, it will always be the C64 one. Secondly, if a game based on a license such as a movie or book contradicts what the story has laid out, does that impact your interest in the video game? I've got to say, Kev, I was never really a fan of movie licenses, and I'm no that's quite bad given that I've just recently interviewed Gary Bracey. I mean, Gary was a massive part. He played a massive part for Ocean getting all these game licenses, but I was never a big fan of playing games related to films. I'm trying to think of any game that I really liked. I mean, I did like Batman on the Amiga, which was based on the film, but I can't think of any other game based on a film that I really liked. No, I can't say, Kevs. I can't really answer that, mate. Sorry. Number 3, PSVR is celebrating its first birthday. Any interest in it yet? Yeah, definitely, Kev. I thought I mentioned this before. I've now had a shot of it. Well, I've had one shot of it. I've played Polybius, and I was super impressed. I think once I get my birthday's actually coming up in a couple of weeks' time. I've asked for money, so if I get enough money together, there's actually 2 things I want to buy. I won't be able to buy them both. There's 2 things I want to buy. One, I would like to buy a drone. Now, I know I bought a drone and I lost it after about a week, but it's one of these little toy drones which it basically blew away in the wind. It's light as a feather. Didn't have any return to home thing, but I quite fancy getting one. Is it a Phantom drone? I think it is. I quite fancy getting one of these. I'll see. I'm not sure. I know it's one of these things I might buy, and then after a few weeks, I'll be like, I never actually play it. I don't know. But I've done a U-turn with PSVR. I wasn't interested, but I have a few friends who've had it on the PC or VR on the PC, and they've said to me, get the PSVR. There's a lot of software coming out for it now. I mean, my concern was there wasn't going to be very much software, but I think it is gradually getting there. My mate Dave has recently picked one up as well. So yeah, I think it might come down in price. So I think I might hang fire. I think it might actually come down in price for Christmas. I don't know. That's my own personal opinion. So I think I might just sit on the fence for another couple of months and see what happens. But yeah, absolutely, I really fancy getting it. Number 4, North America seems to be going bonkers for these NES and SNES minis, and yet Sega and Atari minis have been collecting dust on store shelves for years. Any idea why? And any idea why? And is Nintendo as beloved in the UK as it seems to be here? You know what? I think, now this is just my personal opinion, I think the reason the Nintendo ones do well and the Sega and Atari ones don't, I think it might have something to do with the fact that none of these 2 companies exist as far as software goes. Yeah, Sega still make the odd game for, Sonic the Hedgehog and that, and obviously Atari doesn't exist anymore other than name. I'm wondering, is it because Nintendo they're still a viable, active hardware producer, so when they bring out a mini console, you're getting an actual proper Nintendo console? Is it that? I've never really thought about it before, and I think that could possibly be part of it. The SNES Mini, SNES Mini, the NES Mini and the SNES Mini are both made by Nintendo, who still make current hardware, Switch, Wii U and that kind of stuff. Whereas Atari is just a label owned by a company, by lawyers, whatever. That may change when this new thing comes out, I don't know. And Sega, they've not produced any hardware for a long time, so I don't know. I mean, I think there's always been, I was going to say there's been a lot of these little handheld things for a long time with Sega games in it, but then you can get these NES on a stick thing, so I'm not really too sure, Kev, actually, but it might well be because Nintendo, they still make hardware, so an NES Mini or a SNES Mini is a legitimate piece of hardware. I'm not too sure, mate. Finally, have you seen this CD console? Ah, right, that can play disc-based games like PS1, Sega Mega CD, and all computer games. I only wish it would also play Saturn. Also, it doesn't support Saturn. I didn't know the name of it. I have seen people talking about it. I think because I've got all the kind of, well, not all of them, but because I've got most of the originals, I don't have any real interest. I mean, if I was going to go down the road of that, I could just play them on my PC. I've not paid any real particular attention to be honest with you, Kev. Again, I'm sure if it comes out and it's actually a viable product, I'm sure it'll do quite well, because there's lots of people, for people who want to be able to play, all these games, that rather than going out and buying I don't know, I mean, did you say, or Sega CD, is Neo Geo going to be included in that? I don't actually know. It's an excellent way. It's like the Retron 5. You could play a lot of the cartridge-based systems, Mega Drive, SNES, Game Boy, and that kind of stuff. If this does the same for CDs, then I think it will appeal to a certain element of the market. It won't appeal to people like myself who like to have the original hardware. But yeah, it's interesting that it's not going to support Saturn. I think that would be quite a big seller, actually. Sega Saturn and the Dreamcast. Interesting. But anyway, we shall see what happens, Kev. As usual, man, thanks for your questions. Batman, do you own the C64 DTV? And if so, what do you think of it? I do indeed. It's up there. I take it it's the all-in-one joystick thing. It's disappointing. That's all I'll say. The games that are on it are a very, 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 very minor selection of games. I think it's all Hewson games, and that is it. And they've got is it summer games? Is it summer games or winter games? I think it is. But instead of having that as one game, they've released it like the individual events, almost like separate games. So the game selection is pretty shit. I think that is the key to the success of these things. You've got to have proper games. You've got to have good games. Just to have one company on it is a bit rubbish. So yeah, I mean it plays fine, but I would like to see better games. So we'll see what happens anyway. Yeah, that's part 1 of Batman's questions. Part 2, I'd like to know what you think about games by Ultimate on all the 8-bit systems. Do you think they have held up well and deserve the reverence that they receive, or do you think their games are overrated and nothing more than fantastic tech demos, particularly on the Spectrum? Because I wasn't a Spectrum man back in the day, I used to think they looked impressive, like, Night Lore, but I didn't really have any real interest in playing them. And now that I've got the Spectrum, I've tried to play them, and if you strip away the graphics, the gameplay is actually pretty basic. It's just a very, very basic maze game. I mean, it's super impressive from a technology point of view. What they've actually done is incredible. And yeah, you couldn't play them in the C64, so they are impressive. they're not my type of game. Even now, I just find them too difficult. Are they a tech demo? Possibly. But yeah, they are. I mean, there's no doubt that, excuse me, just did that funny thing where your voice goes high pitch. They're definitely impressive games, absolutely. You know, they really showed you just what the Spectrum could do, and of course companies like is it Night Fairlight and Batman, they started, you know, other companies started to replicate and probably better what excuse me, what Ultimate were doing. So yeah, super impressive. Not my cup of tea. I think they're actually quite basic. As far as Ultimate software in the Commodore 64, I was always very disappointed. I mean, when you consider that Ultimate games were very much graphic based, when you look at the graphics on the C64, they were really pixelated. Now I know that's to do with the hardware. You know, the pixels are too wide by one high. I never knew that at the day. I never understood that back in the day. But the games, they were always very blocky looking. So you had stuff like Staff of Karnath, Entombed, Black Witch, I think it was called as well. There was a few. There was also one like a Cowboys and Indians one as well. I wasn't a fan of them. I'll be honest. I wasn't a fan of the Ultimate games in the C64, and I wasn't a big fan of the ones on the Spectrum. Do you own a Rare Replay for the old Xbox One, and if so, what are your thoughts on it? I do, yes. I bought it. In fact, you know what? That was kind of the reason. I sound a complete hypocrite. I've just told you why I don't like Ultimate games. Yet that was the one game that I kind of wanted to get an Xbox One to play. I've played it a handful of times. I mean, I love Jetpack. It's a really, really nice compilation. I mean, the amount of work that's gone into it is excellent. Excuse me. Apparently you can unlock videos and that kind of stuff. The presentation is absolutely second to none. So yeah, it's quite an impressive thing. Do I play it very often? Not really, unfortunately. So anyway, Bat, listen, thank you for your questions. Let me just check the time. Bloody hell, I've been talking longer than I thought. I've not got too many to go actually. So yeah, thanks for your question, mate. Right, Mr. Ian Hunter. Hi Alan, first of all, apologies for not joining in the live stream. I completely forgot to mention that. I nodded off watching an Aliens on Earth documentary. That was probably more interesting than my live streaming. Yeah, no, absolutely fine. I will be 4 weeks, something like that. Secondly, I have a question, a Friday Waffle question. I realise that all the good and interesting questions have been asked now, so I'm afraid it's time for the boring and shite ones. If you had to sell all your stuff for whatever reason and were left with nothing and decided to start again, what would be your first purchase and why? That's a good question, Ian. I don't think I've actually had that question before. I've had one similar, but not the actual one. I think somebody asked me if I had to sell everything and keep maybe one or two systems, what would I keep? That's a tough one. There's three systems that jump out. The first one is the obvious one. It's the Vectrex. I love the Vectrex to bits. I don't play it all that often because I'm frightened I'm going to break it. But the Vectrex, it would be probably out of all the machines, if I had to not sell one, I would probably not sell the Vectrex because they're getting harder to get hold of. They're super fragile. So I would probably want to hang on to the Vectrex. But the other two systems, if I had to sell them all, or put it this way, if I was allowed to keep three systems, Vectrex, the Commodore Amiga, because the Amiga is such an amazing game, amazing system. There's so many good games in it, different types, football, driving games. I mean, you've got all the Lotus games that I was talking to Sean about tonight as well. It's an absolutely wonderful system, and I've been playing it a fair bit recently, and I realise just how amazing it is even now. Still a great system. And the last one would be the Commodore 64. It goes without saying, it was my first system. I've got so many happy memories with it. If I had to really pick one, oh bloody hell, that is tough. It's like asking asking you to choose your favourite child if you had 2 kids or 3 kids, it probably wouldn't be the Vectrex, which I've just contradicted myself again. If I was only allowed to have one system, I would probably go for the Amiga. I love the C64 to bits, I really do, but there's more games. A lot of the 64 games I wouldn't want to play now, but the Amiga is still very much a good system even now, so I'd probably have to go for the Commodore Amiga first, quickly followed by the C64, then by the Vectrex. So anyway, thank you very much for that question. Yeah, sorry, just before I move on, I've only got one more question to go. The live stream, forgot about that actually. I can't remember when did I do that? Was it last Sunday? It went on for 2 hours, and I think I had a maximum, I think I had 30 people at one point. So there's more people tuning in for this one. Really good fun. I really enjoy doing these things. I didn't intend to go for 2 hours, but a few people jumped in, you know, after an hour. I was only going to do it for an hour, and I did see I might run on a wee bit, and a few people jumped in after the hour, so I kept it going. I could have quite easily have gone on for another couple of hours, no problem at all, but you know what, I'm one of these people, I'm always conscious that I don't want to bore people, and if you put out the same video time and time again, then you are going to bore people. People will switch off. I get bored of doing it, you'll get bored of watching it, so I don't want to do it too often. At the very most, I would do one a month. I'll see. I'm absolutely going to do another one because they're great fun. So yeah, probably 3 weeks time, something like that. So yeah, and the very last question, let me see if I've got any time. I've got 2 minutes and 22 seconds. The very last one, Lutch 666444, an interesting name actually. Last night I went to see the Addams Family musical through in the King's Theatre in Glasgow. Absolutely brilliant, really enjoyed it. Yeah, like you, I haven't completed many games, but one game I did complete was Mario 64. I'm excited now to play Mario Odyssey and try and complete that. What are your thoughts on the game, and how about completing it? Well, I've pre-ordered it. I think it comes out in a couple of weeks' time. It does look really nice. I saw the really dodgy looking Mario Odyssey musical trailer. I wasn't too convinced about that, but it does look good. I mean, when you're buying a Mario game, you always know you're going to get something that's worth playing. So yeah, hopefully I'll make more of an effort to play that than I have with all the other games on the Switch, because I'm really guilty of buying them and then not going back to them. So anyway, listen guys, that is it. Thanks very much guys for the questions. Please keep them coming. Welcome to the new subscribers. I mean, it's the subscriber numbers keeps rising steadily. With any luck, maybe by Christmas time I might be over the 2,000. I am in the process of putting together a special 1,500 subscriber video. So with any luck, I'll get that put out maybe next week. I've got a couple of other things I still want to do, so we'll just see, and there will be a competition as well. So anyway guys, as usual, thank you to the continued support, and as usual, thank you very much for watching.